Happy Tuesday, Eagles Nation. Welcome to today's episode of Weekly Chirp. Stephen Hellmann here alongside Tom Aresco. Another L. So, I didn't think it would be that bad of a game, but you know what? We just really didn't show up, and I guess the Eagles, you could say they're showing their true colors. Rookie QB, rookie head coach, new team, new pieces, new schemes, all that, yada, yada, yada.
Some bad play, some lack of production from a lot of guys that you expected to be a little better, and pretty much, it seems like right now I wasn't expecting much out of that game, and it seems like right now this team is struggling to score 2 touchdowns in games, and that's what I've been noticing. It's such a hard thing to score, and when you're struggling to get go down the field and get even 2 touchdowns in a game, it's going to be tough to win. But right into it. I mean, we can get right into what we've both been waiting to talk about. It's just everybody needs to calm down and understand that this is an average team. This is not, and we're sorry for getting hype and saying playoffs every year. That's just what we do as fans. Every year we say it, but the problem is that there's a lot of fans that actually believe it, and they believe guys like me on Twitter that are trolling Dallas Cowboys fans and actually saying, we're so much better, all this. I'm going to say that probably every year. Because then you go in the season, you see what happens. And I haven't been right so far, for a couple years. I mean, ever since Chip Kelly, I guess, brought us to the playoffs. We haven't really been back up to that. And even before that with Andy Reid, I mean, it's been a while since this team's been good. But, it's just my fan instinct to say that. Now, when I step back and look at things, obviously you know why the Dallas Cowboys are what they are and the Eagles are what they are. It's pretty obvious there's a talent discrepancy, and that is all the credit in the world to the Dallas Cowboys for bringing in the right pieces. If you look at their last 6 draft picks in the first round, they're all starters. There's 3 offensive linemen that are Pro Bowl caliber players. There's Byron Jones. There's Dez Bryant was a first-round pick. Now Ezekiel Elliott. You look at that team and you realize why they're a good team. That's how you build a good team. You draft well, and it's all the credit to them for doing that. This division, we both thought that it could be won at 9 games because we didn't believe in the Cowboys, and I certainly didn't. I thought Romo was really fragile, but then there you go. Insert gem of 2016, Dak Prescott, and look what you have. A great team that looks like they could be a Super Bowl team this early in these guys' careers, and just a credit to them. But with the Eagles, that's what you shoot for. They didn't just become that. You know how many times Dallas went 8-8 and 9-7 and less, and 4-12 last year. Jason Garrett, people said he's an airhead and he has no clue what he's doing and he's in over his head. And who does it sound like I'm talking about? I mean, this is year 1, and if you want to build something, if you want to get back to being good, you have to give it a chance. I'm not saying Doug Peterson's a great head coach. I'm not saying Carson Wentz is the best quarterback of all time, and I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying Jim Schwartz is off the hook. This is a bad football team, but to get better, you don't fire everyone and start over, because then you're going to be getting the same things. You have to let a group of coaches and a GM and a group of personnel guys get something right and let players develop and get their own guys, and they haven't been able to do that yet. It's been one off season with one draft where they needed to go get their quarterback, and now we're going to see what they can build around them, and that's when I'll be able to judge them. But this year, it's disappointing that everybody else is good and we're not, but that's just what it is, and you have to it's a rebuild, and you have to accept it, and I just wanted to get all that out and let you go.
I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, but guys, I mean, it's an evaluation here. I mean, we knew that going in, and you start off 3-0, but look who the first 2 wins came against, the Bears and the Browns, who are god-awful.
People were right about saying it's just the Bears and just the Browns. Those wins, we're better than 0 and 3 win teams, 2 win teams, whatever the case may be. But we're not better than these and the thing is,
our schedule's been ridiculous.
Our schedule's been tough, and the Eagles have beaten some good teams. Not great teams. They lost to Dallas. They lost to Green Bay, who's not great, but they have Aaron Rodgers still. They lost to Seattle, so they haven't beaten those teams. But they beat the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you see that's what you look for.
And those are big wins.
Those are big wins.
And that gives you them confidence going into next year, feeling that they can compete with some of these teams. And those are big wins. For this year, really, just kind of keeping you in it.
And you know what? I don't know if this is true, but it's a theory that I have. I haven't felt a connect. I've felt such a strong disconnect with the fan base and the team. It just seems like the the players are just angry all the time, and they're not.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like they're having much fun, and I don't know if that's on them, but the social media era, it has completely changed what the media coverage is like, and I just feel like we're so ready to quit all the time, and it just feels like it translates. I don't know if that's actually true. That might be the dumbest thing anyone's ever said, or it could actually have an effect on some guys mentally. I mean, Nelson Aguilar deleted his social media. Like, maybe you need tougher guys. Maybe that's the answer. And if we're talking about how Doug Peterson lost the locker room and he needs to be fired, that's just ridiculous at this point, because that's on the players at that point. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, the thing is, with the social media, I think it's, players reading all their mentions and whatnot. I mean, whether you're famous actor, baseball player, football player, it doesn't matter. You're still a person, and people aren't going to like you.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way it is. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone likes you, as you know. Not everyone likes me, but when you're a celebrity, it's magnified because there's a lot of people that like you, but there's a lot of more people that don't like you. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. You're going to have negative attention regardless of what it is. And especially when people are diehard fans, they live and die, this affects their lives. Yeah. Like, to a sense, it's psychotic how crazy we are about football. But the thing is, because it's just a game. But the thing is, this means so much to people that they say things that maybe they don't fully mean, and the players who are human beings take it to heart. And I think that's I think that the players feel a little upset because the fans are already griping in this first year of a rebuild where the expectations got tampered because of the 3-0 start. But we have all these new pieces.
You don't try to lose. Yeah, they're not going to try to lose games just so they don't. I saw someone put out something about Andy Reid's first season, and it was like they started 0-4, but then they finished whatever 5 whatever the rest of the games were. They finished. They
had 5 wins.
Yeah, they had 5 wins. So it was like 5-7. So it was like that's trending up. Doug Peterson 3-0 and now 2. It's like, so what? Should Doug Peterson have tried to start 0-4 just so he could maybe get things turned around? You just try to win games and look, the record and the way they're trending or whatever the case may be, look, they're hitting a rough patch. This is a young team who's never experienced this, a young quarterback. It's a long season, period. And that's it. And you can't, and you're right, it's unbelievable that people are already done with Doug Peterson, I've seen a lot of people talking about Carson Wentz, saying he might not be that good. How can you even say that? I mean, it's just crazy.
The stuff that's happening to Carson Wentz is the same thing that was happening to Sam Bradford last year. There's a clear lack of offensive playmakers on the roster. And Carson Wentz, I think he's going to be a great player, but there's no one for him to throw to. There's no weapons. The O-line's pretty shaky. No running back. It's like, how can you can't really evaluate this guy fairly. I like what I've seen. I've seen progress. He makes a lot of mistakes, but that's because he's trying to just make some plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no one else out there.
Last year we complained all year about Sam Bradford checking down all year. Well, guess what?
Maybe
you know why he didn't throw deep? Well, historically in his career he hasn't really thrown deep, but that's what you get when you don't have trust in a receiver downfield and you know they're not going to make a play for you. You're going to be hesitant to throw there, and especially when the offensive line is giving you a lot of pressure. Yeah. But Wentz is standing in there. That's why he's taking a lot of hits, because he's throwing downfield. Yeah. And he's waiting, and instead of just checking down like Sam Bradford was doing, he's waiting and he's taking those hits that Bradford was less.
He's surveying the field, and he's seen, but guys are getting little to no separation. Sometimes they barely catch the ball. Paul Turner is probably the best hands on the team,
and he's an undrafted free agent who has nothing else going for him other than his hands are pretty good. So if he gets open, a slow 5'10" receiver with there's no film on him yet. I mean, he might be a solid, reliable 5th receiver in the NFL, maybe. But right now, let's just say, he might turn out to be something. That's fine. But right now, Paul Turner cannot be your best receiver or have the best hands on your team. You need to go get 2 veteran receivers to help this offense come along. And while those veteran receivers hold it down and give you some serviceable play, I mean, look, I'm all for Terrell Pryor, but if you don't get him, it's not the end of the world. It's not. It's not the end of the world. You go get 2 solid veteran receivers that can catch the ball and get open and know how to make a living in the NFL playing wide receiver. They come in and immediately everyone just has less time on the field, and those veterans are on the field. They catch the ball. They get open. I mean, I see guys J.J. Nelson's touchdown against
yesterday
for Arizona against Washington. Have our receivers made a play anything close to that? And he's their fourth receiver. It's unreal that our starting receivers are worse than fourth receivers in the NFL. You need to get new starters, and you need them to be veterans that Wentz can just rely on and help everyone else groom. And then you need to build that offensive line and the run game. Because if you have just solid receivers and then you build that, then you can go get your Dez Bryant, your Odell Beckham at some point. Yeah. But you need guys that are just good for now. Yeah. Because these guys aren't at all.
Yeah. And even if you had some average wide receiver play, that would just make a world of a difference right now.
If we were to go get 2 average receivers, it really would. And we won't. We'll get even better than average. We'll get 2 solid receivers. Two steady veteran receivers. That's what the Eagles have to do. And then if you can grab like I hate to bring up the draft names right now, but Dalvin Cook in the first round, and then build that offensive line. You can give Cook the ball 20 to 25 times a game, and then you have solid veteran receivers, and you build the O-line. You just work on it. It's not that bad now. It's bad, but not that bad. Yeah. So I think it can be built quick, and I think that's really what you got to do. And obviously the cornerback position, but that's a whole different story. So it's all about getting things for Wentz right now, getting things. I know we talked about a lot, talking about the team. I always want to talk about how to improve it.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, guys, because that's a call for you. Yep. And we will see you guys around. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, just stay patient, guys. Seriously, it's a big. It's a tough time right now, but good things are coming. Good things are coming. We'll see you for Bird Buzz. I can't wait to hear the questions.